Welcome to episode 5 of the Bingo Bongo podcast. I'm Bingo.
I'm Bongo.
And today we have a very special episode planned for you folks.
We do.
Yeah. John, how have you been lately? I haven't seen you in a couple weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah.
The hell?
I saw John
him
yesterday and the day before.
There was one time, funny enough, just to get right into the podcast. I went to work and my assistant manager.
Oh yeah.
He was like, "Hey, someone came in today and he was like asking to kiss you and stuff."
I don't know if I said that.
And I was like, that sounds like Ashton.
Yeah, I went. It's a funny story actually. My friend Lily and I went to Walmart. Well, producer Lily, actually, you guys know her already.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Walmart because we needed to get something. We needed to get groceries for dinner, and it's funny because when we were in the Walmart, I actually called my friend Chance to say hi to him, and he didn't answer.
Oh yeah.
But then when Lily and I went to check out later, he was there, like 50 feet away from where I had called him earlier, working there. He works at Walmart apparently, and I was like, "Hey, Chance, did you see that I called you?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "It was over there that I called you."
Yeah.
And it was really funny. And then I said, "Well, Lily, we're right down the road from where John works. Let's go say hi to him." And we drove down there and went up. And I know David, so I went up to him and asked if John was there, and he said no. And I was like, "Oh." I was like, and you know what's funny?
What?
I'm sure David did mention this to you. I said to David, "Oh, I thought John got in at 4." And David was like, "Yeah, well, it's 3. But I think he comes in at 5, maybe." it was like 3:17, and I said that I thought you came in at 4. He must have thought I was the dumbest person on earth.
I think that day I was supposed to go in later because I had a doctor appointment that day. So
okay.
Yeah, things were all fucked up.
I don't know if maybe I said I wanted to kiss you. I don't remember that though.
Yeah, he was just. But also David, he's a little trickster.
I've heard.
He's a guy full of tomfoolery. I will say.
I've heard that he's a trickster.
I don't have any drink near me, and this is a problem. Can I? Can I?
You want me to go get you a drink?
Oh, can I get a peach soda?
Are they over there?
Yeah, I'm right over there.
We'll tell you about it later because it'll have more purpose later. Let them be confused. You guys get to be confused about this for a while, okay?
Next up, the olive oil challenge. Roll the clip.
Time to talk about the olive oil challenge part 2, the follow-up. Let's just show you guys what happened because it's pretty crazy.
What the fuck?
Not that crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
Okay, you ready? Go.
Hello everybody, this is Jonathan from the Olive Oil Challenge. Today I recommend...
Turn it off.
Thank you. Today I recommend, what do I say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Do I have other people?
No. Oh, you gotta, yeah.
I nominate Jimmy John and Jersey Mike. I don't want to do this.
You have to do it.
I don't want to do this.
You have to do it.
That doesn't taste good at all. That's disgusting.
Is it?
That's disgusting. Ugh. Ugh. Mm. That's bad. That's not like let's run to the bathroom bad, but that's terrible. Ugh. It's like chalk. Ugh. That's it. We're done.
All right.
Oh,
that was
so
do it
bad.
Again. I'm gonna do it again. Get me.
That was so bad.
But you already got it on the video.
We're gonna do it.
Oh, that was really bad. I didn't watch.
Just one take. It's still the same take.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to the Olive Oil Challenge. You know the drift. I nominate nobody. Still good. Still good. Still good. We're done. As you can see, John doesn't like the olive oil.
It sucked.
Unsurprisingly.
But I was like, you know what? 2 things are going to happen. 3 things are going to happen. 1, there was a secret 3rd thing that was going to happen.
Wow. It keeps going up.
First thing, I was going to be like, it's okay. Whatever, like you. Second thing is, I was going to hurl. Like your friend, Orion. Or the 3rd thing that I didn't expect to happen, it was just okay, but I just didn't like it. More like anticlimactic. You know what I mean?
I liked it. I did it also, obviously, as you saw. I liked it again.
Yeah, it was just like, what the... It was like chalky. It was just It was not fun. What the fuck is the point of that challenge?
There's no real point.
What the hell is the point of that challenge?
It's like 9 out of 10 people just don't like it, and 1 out of 10 people, it's pretty good. I'm the 1 out of 10.
I was the guy who didn't hate it, but like, I wouldn't do it again.
I guess you were kind of like Liv, probably. Orion and Lily hated it. Liv and you just didn't like it, and I liked it.
I didn't like it at all.
We haven't found the person who loves it yet. I like it, but I don't love it. Imagine being a freak who loves the olive oil
Imagine
challenge.
Ashton only in his underwear, late at night, drawing circles on the floor,
Just
sitting in
olive oil.
sitting in the circle, drinking the olive oil.
I'm bald. I'm shaved bald. There's no hair on my body. I'm covered in olive oil.
What the fuck is this image?
Candles. All the candles, by the way, the wax, olive oil wax.
Made out of
Solidified
oil.
olive oil wax.
I like that.
That's my new cult idea.
What would the cult name be?
The olive oil cult.
The olive.
The cult of 3 branches. I don't know.
The cult of 3 branches.
Yeah,
Isn't that
maybe.
just like government?
Shit.
There's
like olive branches. The peace branch. The branch of peace.
Okay.
Jesus.
Excuse me.
Oh, I got my nails painted too.
Oh, you wanted to get those off though.
Yeah, it's too late though. Lily. How do you do a butterfly? Like this?
I think that's dove. Isn't that a pigeon?
I don't know what it is. Lily did my nails. I like green. I don't think this is the shade for me. Don't think it's the shade for me. But you know what? It's here to stay.
It is here to
Because
stay.
I don't know how to get it off.
That was a quick intro.
Yeah, it's fine. We have other things to talk about.
Yeah.
For example, John, what if you? This is a new segment. We're gonna start doing this every episode. John, what have you been watching lately? What have you been watching lately?
That's a very interesting topic. I just recently, I brought it over there. Fun story, I got Warfare on 4K. Let me see. So, essentially, the Criterion was having their 50% off sale because it's the start of July. And because of that, are you gonna do it?
Keep talking.
Because of that, I was like, I'm gonna get a bunch of Criterions. So I went to my local Barnes & Noble, bought a bunch of Criterions. One of them I bought was Dazed and Confused, but I bought the Blu-ray of it without realizing that there's a 4K of it. So once I got home and realized that, I didn't even open the package. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to keep the Blu-ray. And then essentially I just went back, got the credit for it, but by that time, this movie was out on 4K at that point. So I was like, fuck Dazed and Confused. I'm going to get this instead. So I got this, and I rewatched it like the same day or today, yeah, it's much better the second time. I liked it more. I loved it the first time. My favorite movie of the year. Better on the second watch. There's just more to chew on. There's more to details that I've noticed.
Yeah, if you watched episode 1 of the podcast, John talked about it then. He likes the movie a lot. He actually watched Warfare this morning with his parents while I was watching 12 Monkeys again. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. What's interesting is my parents' perspective of it, because my dad, he never went to a war zone, but like he was in the army, I believe, and he was on standby. And just thinking about my dad on standby, and then this movie, it kind of fucks with me mentally. It made me emotional, and I was like, yeah, this movie is a great example of why war is not good, and it's like anti-war, obviously.
War, it's not good.
War, it's bad, but like, yeah, there's an emotional connection to it because the big point of this film is the people, right? It's the people. It's not the gunfire, it's not the action, it's the people. So yeah, I'm glad I own it. And I'm glad I was able to watch it with them, get their perspective on it.
Pretty nice presentation too. The orange and the bright orange kind of
Yeah.
juxtaposing the kind of dirt and the grime.
Yeah, something
Something interesting about this.
Oh, you got it.
Not putting it in there correctly. Something interesting about this 4K that John got here is these pictures that came with it. When John opened it this morning or last night or whatever, he said to me something along the lines of, "Oh, I think these are like production photos." And then I took a look at it, and my folks both having been in the Navy, my dad being in the Navy still, I was like, "Oh no, you want to show these off a little bit?" I was like, "No, these are supposed to be, or at least my interpretation is, these are supposed to be like pictures of soldiers, like because this is kind of the type of pictures that people who were in the military were taking back then, in the time that they were in the military.
2006. This is supposed to be
and the time that my parents were in the military. That's just the kind of pictures that they were taking. You
like
know?
more like candid, actual,
very
like, real...
candid. And it's also kind of reminiscent of Shutterfly. If you ever used that service, that was a service they used back in the day. I mean, they still use it to print pictures and mail them to you. And Shutterfly's company colors are actually orange, just like this orange. So I think that's probably just a coincidence, though. So I just thought this was kind of an interesting little thing to add in there.
Yeah.
I've seen many pictures just like these of my own parents, actually.
Yeah. It's very interesting. The film is 100% trying to be like a very realistic interpretation of, and a very matter-of-fact interpretation of war.
Would you call it a modern-day Vietnam film? Or like Iraq instead?
I guess.
You guess?
I guess. It's hard to pinpoint a movie that's like this. Because even like old Vietnam movies like Full Metal Jacket or Apocalypse Now or whatever, like they have like this, they're like the presentation of it is very still film-like. This is definitely film-like, but it's like, it's different, you know? It's hard to explain. It's very good. Ashton?
Yeah.
What have you been listening to?
I've been listening to a variety of things lately. I have a big CD case that my papa gave me a few months ago that I've been trying to get through. And so when I've been driving lately, I've been trying to listen to some of those CDs. I'm going on a trip pretty soon to Alabama, so I'm trying to organize my CDs in my car right now. So I listened to Cypress Hill 3 the other day, and Blues Traveler's 5th album, and For Love Not Lisa, and just some other assorted kind of random CDs. Also, I went to the record store, I think yesterday, I'm sure it was yesterday, and got Fleetwood Mac's Rumors on LP, which is really cool for $5. And here's a really cool one.
Wait.
What?
You got the LP for $5?
Well, it's an old record, and it was pretty scratched up. It's not in great condition.
Okay. I'm like, that's pretty cheap.
It was really cheap. I also got the album Above by Mad Season. It's a supergroup that was formed in the mid-90s. They released one album, the one that I got, in 1995.
Okay.
The supergroup consists of Lane Staley of Alice in Chains, the lead singer of Alice in Chains, Mike McCready of Pearl Jam, and a couple other people. I think one of them is from Screaming Trees. Also, Mark Lanigan, the lead singer of Screaming Trees, does a couple of the songs on Above, which is cool. Mark Lanigan, really good singer.
Ashton, what's a supergroup?
Well, supergroup is kind of just when a couple of musicians who are known for being in particular bands come together and do like a temporary thing. Because you asked me about The Smile.
Yeah, well, I will say is I did talk about that, and I was thinking, okay, what other supergroups may I know? Because a supergroup is like, as you said, it's almost like an amalgamation of like the top dogs, right?
Pretty
People
much.
that people love. They all get together and they make some banging shit, bro. They make bangers, you know? I don't know what other supergroups I know.
So John asked me if The Smile is a supergroup.
Yeah.
That's what you asked me, and that's an excellent question. Go ahead and ask me that question.
Ashton, is The Smile a supergroup?
That's an excellent question. I would say no. I don't think The Smile is a supergroup.
Yeah.
Especially because two of the people in The Smile are just from Radiohead.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, Tom Skinner, isn't necessarily like a very well-known person. But also, especially because The Smile has differentiated itself so much from Radiohead and is acting as its own band, right? Going on tour, releasing several albums instead of just one or two, right?
So
when I think of like supergroups, when I think of like a very good example of a supergroup would be Traveling Wilburys, which was a group formed in the late 80s by Tom Petty of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Bob Dylan, gigantic, George Harrison, gigantic, Roy Orbison, who was a very popular singer, and Jeff Lynne from Electric Light Orchestra.
Yo.
These are all gigantic names, right? Huge names. And they come together and they've made two albums, one in, I think, I don't know, 88 or 89, and another one in like 1990 or 91.
Yeah.
And then they didn't make any more music. They just made a couple of albums, 1 or 2 albums, and then they stopped, right?
So supergroups, the end.
Yeah, I mean, everything ends, but a supergroup is pretty much defined by coming together, making 1 or 2, maybe 3 works, and then splitting apart.
Okay. Yeah, and would you say supergroups? This is something I actually didn't really know. Do you think with the above?
Traveling Wilburys?
No, the other one.
Oh,
the
a
above.
Mad Season?
Yeah. Is it what they usually make, but just like better, like just like it's stronger, or is it something that's kind of different? Because as you said with the Radiohead, Smile is kind of like the band Smile. It's like it's different. Than
Very
Radiohead.
different. Well, the Smile definitely has aspects of what you would come to expect from Radiohead, while still maintaining its own uniqueness and individuality, right?
Yeah.
When I think of a supergroup, it usually becomes kind of an amalgamation of every member's kind of creative input, right? So Traveling Wilburys has quite a bit of Tom Petty, a little bit of Bob Dylan, a little bit of George Harrison, some Jeff Lynne, some Roy Orbison, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty much fronted by Tom Petty. He was kind of the front man of that group, but they all do vocals on their albums. And then you have Mad Season, the group with members from Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, and Screaming Trees, where in some ways you could say that it is reminiscent of aspects of those groups, and it's a grunge supergroup, so it has aspects from those different bands, but at the same time it does kind of become its own thing. Mad Season, I mean, it has sounds that are similar in some ways to Alice in Chains, especially considering the fact that the lead singer of Alice in Chains, Lane Staley, is also the lead singer of Mad Season. It's inevitable. Like that contributes a lot to it, but it really does have its own distinct sound, especially given that it's only one album.
Okay. And would you consider that one? This isn't an album. That one Christmas song that Michael Jackson was on, and apparently like 8,000 other people. I have no idea what the song is.
I don't know what John's talking about. That sounds more. That's not. That wouldn't be a supergroup. That would just be like a feature.
But there was like 1,000 people in that feature. Michael Jackson was in it.
Was
I
it
think,
one song?
Yeah, it was like
Then
duh,
that's not a supergroup.
But you know that song?
No, I don't know that song.
No,
I don't know that song. That's not a supergroup. Because supergroup is, well, because they act like a band. When they get together, maybe they're only together for a few years, but they go, usually they tour, they sell merchandise, all their faces are on there, they act as a band, they each have group, they're each contributing to the band, versus something like that, it sounds like it was a Michael Jackson song.
I have no idea.
Sounds like whatever John's talking about probably was just Michael Jackson, and he got a bunch of people to feature on his one song.
Okay.
Versus, and like, here's the thing. Also, did he sell the song as Michael Jackson, or did he sell it as the Scrambunctious Five? Because if it was the Scrambunctious Five, and it was Michael Jackson and Keith Urban and Bonnie Taylor or whoever, then yeah, that could be a supergroup.
I think you're thinking about the Scrumptious Six.
The Scrumptious Six, I forgot.
Yeah, as opposed to the Super Diddly Seven.
The Skin Gibbly Seven.
Skim Bibbly Seven.
Skin Gibbly.
Skin Gibbly.
The Skin Gibbly Seven.
The last thing I want to ask you for this supergroup discussion,
yeah.
What would be your What would be your ideal supergroup?
The ideal supergroup? If I could create a supergroup?
If you could create a supergroup, who would you have?
Oh my god, Chris Cornell, Fiona Apple, Trent Reznor, Chino Marino.
That is the craziest supergroup ever.
Isn't it?
Chris Cornell, I think, is dead.
He's dead.
Chris Cornell, Fiona Apple,
Beautiful.
and then who else?
Trent Reznor and Chino Marino.
Chino Marino.
Oh, and Dan Arbach.
So Deftones, Audio Slave,
Well, yeah, but Soundgarden.
Soundgarden, Fiona Apple,
Uh-huh. Nine Inch Nails.
Nine Inch Nails. What the
And the
hell would
Black
that
Keys.
sound like?
It'd be weird.
That'd be some weird shit.
I don't know what
Like Fiona Apple lyrics with Deftone vibe.
I don't know. I'd like to see what the five of them could do together.
I did not expect that.
Because Fiona Apple is a very good lyricist, and they're all good musicians.
Yeah.
Trent Reznor is, of course, also a good lyricist, but he does really great compositions and instrumentations, right?
Yeah.
Chino Marino, I don't see doing like necessarily as much as the other people, but I like Deftones a lot. I have all their albums. Dan Arbach has a lot of great compositions. The Black Keys is one of my favorite bands as well. And then Chris Cornell just has like a really great voice. And he also does great... They all do great compositions. So I just like to see what they could do if they were all together.
Okay, so...
Sorry. Mostly, I want to see Fiona Apple, Trent Reznor, and Chris Cornell because I think those are my 3 favorite musicians.
So Fiona Apple doing the writing, the lyrics, Chris Cornell singing.
Well, here's the thing though: is in a supergroup, it's not necessarily like one person does this, one person does that, one person does that. For example, Traveling Wilburys, they were all contributing. Maybe Tom Petty wrote this song and Jeff Lynne sung it, and then another song Bob Dylan wrote, but George Harrison sang it. You know,
that's so interesting.
So it wouldn't be like every song in the album was written by Fiona Apple and sang by Chris Cornell, and the musicians and the instruments were done by Trent Reznor. No, it would be very much a variety of different things.
Yeah, that is insane.
Wouldn't that be a cool, interesting thing to hear?
That would be in the news for sure.
You think so?
I think that'd be popular thing.
I think it would be in the news
because people would be like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah, they're all very different musicians. They do very different types of music. I mean, when you think of Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, George Harrison, like they also do really different types of music.
Yeah.
But they're not so different that it's insane that they all went together.
Also, I don't know them as much as I know the other ones.
Really?
Like what you said, I know those guys a bit more because they're more modern.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Petty and all them, they're kind of older.
Well, back when the Traveling Wilburys was a thing, it was huge. It was gigantic because they were all incredibly popular musicians.
Yeah.
It would kind of be like if we did that nowadays. I mean, even though any single one of them on their own might be more popular than any of the musicians I named.
Yeah. Mine would be the guys from Imagine Dragons, the guys from Maroon 5,
Coldplay.
and the guys from Coldplay. All like 18 of them together.
And it would just be terrible.
Beauty queen on my back, track baby.
Every single person is my enemy.
Oh, and the group from Limp Bizkit.
Fred Darts.
Fred Darts.
It would appear so. Hey, I'm here with the Imagine Dragons, Coldplay, and what's the third one? Maroon 5, Sugar Baby. Check out our new single, Black Chicks.
Black Chick. Our new single. Okay. Wait, I want to add one more band. Fuck, what was the name?
It's not the point of it.
Who made Hey There Delilah? The Plain White Tees.
Plain White Tees is terrible. The point of a supergroup isn't to have 5 bands together. It's to have 5 different people or a few different people.
No, I want everybody.
You want all the people from the bands?
All 20 of them.
That's ridiculous. You only need Fred Durst.
An orchestra.
Fred Durst singing an Imagine Dragons song with Coldplay instruments.
With Coldplay piano.
Yeah. And
Fred Durst.
And Maroon 5 just watching.
Yeah, in the corner of the cuck band. They're just watching.
And the Plain White Tees, they just kill them. They kill the Plain White Tees.
That's crazy.
So what I was gonna say about the album above, by the way, that I didn't get to, was that I already had a version of the album that I got last year. But the thing is, they took the original artwork and they shrunk it down and put a gigantic black border. Like half of the record is just a black border, and then the actual artwork is tiny on the record.
Weird.
And the artwork's not great, and the discs are fine. And then they just did a repress for the 30th anniversary this year. That's what I picked up in the store yesterday for $45.
Wow.
But the full artwork's back. All the stuff on the back looks nicer. The discs are like a smoky gray. It's just really beautiful looking. Ooh, excuse me. It looks very beautiful, and it was worth it. I'm gonna sell my other one that I got and keep this new one because the new one looks really great. I'm very happy about it.
That's really
Pop
dope.
some pictures up there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I've been listening to. Oh, and Jeff Buckley. I've been listening to the album Grace by Jeff Buckley a lot lately, from 1994. Very good stuff. Lily let me borrow her copy of the record because I don't have it. I'm very much enjoying it. The song, maybe we'll talk about it one day.
Jeff Buckley.
Maybe we will.
Okay.
Jeff Buckley, you might know his cover of Hallelujah. He also did Lover You Should Have Come Over. I think the song that I maybe enjoy most in the album is either Mojo Pin or Last Goodbye. Probably Last Goodbye. All very good songs on that record.
Okay.
There you have it.
There
So
you
what
go.
else have you been watching lately?
I've been seeing a few movies in theaters. One of them, I saw two movies in theaters. 2 movies. That's what I meant to say.
What'd you see?
F1 and
Starring Brad Pitt.
Starring the Brad Pitt and
The Brad Pitt.
What the hell was the other one?
Brad the Pitt Johnson.
Brad the Pitt Johnson. And 28 years later.
Oh!
20 years later. Both of those. What's so fascinating, I gave both of them, I think, the same rating.
Yeah. But one of them you like a lot more.
One of them is going to be on my mind for a lot longer.
Yeah.
And that's 28 years later. 28 years later, third movie in the franchise. it's just a weird film. It's a weird film it's trying to do a lot of bold stuff, but like it just sometimes doesn't work, you know? But things I don't like about the film, there's like 2 other things I like about it. So it's so weird. We're burping
It's
a lot.
fine.
This
Let's hear
episode.
about F1 first, real quick, and then let's be concise with 28 years later, because I know you have a lot to say.
I don't really have that much to say. That's pretty much it.
Really?
It's very. I mean, I don't want to go into like full details on the story. I just will. It was just very conflicting, but my thoughts are very positive. F1, I will say, I had a lot. It was a lot easier for me to. From the very first watch of F1, I was like, yeah, my opinions are pretty much consistently like, it's good. It's the most. I would say F1 is the most exciting film of the year, but it's not the best film. It's the most exciting film. So it's like it's great. It's well shot, well edited. Especially the driving scenes are really well edited and shot. Great sense of tension with scenes, but at the end of the day, the dialogue and some editing of dialogue is just kind of clunky. And the dialogue is kind of cheesy and sappy. It's kind of like old people sap. Like, it feels very much like my 50-year-old parents will enjoy the dialogue. You know what I mean? That's just the best way to describe it. But, yeah, both of them I gave a 6 out of 10. What's happening? One I'm gonna remember more, and it's 28 years later.
The F1, he related it to Top Gun Maverick.
It's because the same director made Top Gun.
Oh, really?
Maverick. Yeah. But yeah, it's exciting. It's fun. It's definitely a movie that's a safest bet to watch in theaters. Like, if you're gonna like take your family to go see a movie, F1 would be the movie to see.
Make sure you take your kids to see 28 Years Later.
Yeah, 28 Years Later is not the movie to see. If you're just like, what movie do you want to see, guys? 28 years later, let's go see it.
He said it was intense.
Yeah, and you see like a zombie's 18-inch dick.
Carter said it was intense.
The beginning is very intense.
Boots! 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 I am going lunatic!
Boots, there's cum on the floor.
Lick it up, baby!
Lick it up. Okay, that's it. That's
all
all.
you got?
That's all I've been watching. That and other shit. I'm making a video on stuff I've watched recently. Also, that should be up on the channel at some point. Other than that, I'm just I've been working, chilling.
I'm working a lot.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk about something.
What do you want to talk about?
Last week, you recommended a movie called 12 Monkeys to me.
Yes.
And I heard that, and I saw the picture of it with Bruce with all the characters in the eye and the red eye, and I thought, this looks kind of dumb, but it sounds interesting.
Okay.
I said, it sounds like a really interesting movie.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. It's called 12 Monkeys, and the artwork is stupid. Let's see how it is, whatever.
Yeah.
And I actually remember sitting down to watch it with you and Carter, and having my phone, and being like, okay, I'm just gonna play on my phone while I'm watching this.
Can I say one funny thing?
Uh-huh.
When the movie started, there's the opening scene is a bunch of monkeys, like a bunch of monkeys going in a circle, and Ashton was like, "There's more than 12." That's it, and we laughed. It was funny.
And you know what? I think I might have been wrong. Oh no, there were definitely more than 12 because there were layers of monkeys.
Yeah, there was a fuck ton of monkeys on screen. Yeah. But just to piggyback off of what you said,
that.
Yeah, it was really funny. We were just chatting one night, and I just showed him the picture of it. He was like, "That looks cool." You said it looked cool. It wasn't like
was it I who said that I wanted to watch it?
I don't necessarily remember, but you said it looked interesting. You didn't say it looked bad.
I didn't think it would be a bad movie.
Okay.
I thought that the name 12 Monkeys was weird, and I thought that the artwork was like a little weird, but it was very much like mid to late 90s, like Matrix-esque. Matrix hadn't come out yet, but
yeah,
it certainly was that sort of future thriller, late 90s, mid 90s. It was 95, so right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we sat down, we watched it, and before we go any further,
we're gonna spoil the whole movie.
We're spoiling the fuck out of this.
We're spoiling it. We're gonna say everything. So just imagine if you came in here expecting like a softcore 2 girls kissing. No. There's going to be 3 dudes. They're all going to be butt naked. We're going to see male asshole.
We're going to see 3 guys scissoring, okay?
3 guys scissoring?
Each other.
Gross.
At once. No, but after the first watch, what'd you think of it?
So here's what happened. I sit down, I'm watching it. I'm kind of on my phone a little bit. Like not that much. And then basically like a few minutes in, I put my phone away and I'm paying attention. Like I was paying attention, but I was like doing something. And then it was like every minute that would pass, I would get more and more hooked on the movie. Until the very end of the movie, I'm like this. And I'm like shaking. And every time something happens, every time there's a plot point or a twist, I'm like, what? Oh my God. What? And then me and Carter were kind of both doing that, except Carter was confused. She was like, what? And I was like, oh.
Yeah, there was one part Carter was like, oh, and it's this place. Oh my God. And it's like, and by that point, I was like, I love showing movies to people because I hope that they have experiences like that where like they enjoy it, right? Like, and you guys obviously were enjoying it. And by the end of the movie especially, I was like, yes, this is satisfying.
So anyways, the movie is great and it's tantalizing and whatever. And then the movie ends, and I'll remember this because the movie ends, and Carter kind of goes like, "What? What just happened? I don't like what I don't." And then at the same time, I'm like, "It all makes sense. It all makes sense. Oh my God, I get it." And Carter on the other side is having the complete opposite experience. She did not get it at all. I got it 100%. John's looking at me. He's like, yeah. He's looking at Carter. He's like, and then Carter's like, what? But did he say the future? Or did the what? Or did the what? And then I'm like, you can't change the future. You can't change the past. You can't change the future. And John, I remember John going like, yep, exactly. And he starts talking. And I had already been crying because of the ending. I cried a little bit. But then when I said like, you can't change the future, and John started saying his little thing, I basically burst into tears.
And I'm gonna be honest, when Ashton did that, I thought he was just screaming at one point. I thought he was just making a little joke, like, oh, being a little silly, like, oh, and then I realized there's tears coming out of his face, and I'm like, oh shit. And so Carter goes to like give him a hug and shit.
I started sobbing, like screaming, like howling, sobbing.
Yeah, it was loud.
Like, I don't know, like my dog had just died. You know? Just like I had a very emotional reaction.
Yeah, and I didn't fully understand it at first. I thought it's because it reminded you of something. Was it because of just the themes of it?
I honestly don't know.
Was just a lot?
I don't know. I don't really know.
Okay.
What happened?
Interesting.
But what happened? I sobbed and I cried, and then I was quiet for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then when I snapped out of it, we were sitting downstairs, and I think at one point I kind of just went like, that was probably the best movie I've ever seen.
And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Because I loved, when I first watched the movie, I kind of had the experience you had, except I didn't necessarily like cry. But like when the ending happened, I was like immediately like, this is one of the best movies. Like it's very rarely like I think like I sit down afterwards and go, this movie is top tier. You know? Like There Will Be Blood, I've had that feeling. This movie, maybe when I saw The Matrix in Dolby, like I had that feeling.
Matrix isn't quite as like a work of art though.
But I saw it in Dolby.
Sure.
Dolby Cinema. That was when I was like, fuck, that was great.
That would be cool.
Her, when I first watched it, like, yeah, there's films where I just sit there and I go, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, so, where do we even start with this?
Let's talk in depth about the movie, and let's start from the beginning. Okay.
The beginning.
So the movie opens with this kind of legend, right? This title text, and it says, in the year 1997, 5 people will die of a deadly virus.
Yeah.
1% of the population survives, and they live underground.
Yeah.
The animals rule the world. Is more or less what it says. I'm probably off by like 5 words, right?
Yeah.
That's more or less what it says. It's in this green text, very very future, very 90s green text. Funny story about that. The director, Terry Gilliam, added that in pretty late. It was like one of the last things they added to the movie. I watched the director's cut today. By the way, I watched it first on Tuesday. I watched it again on Thursday, that time with Lily. And then I watched it again this morning. I watched the director's commentary version. So I've watched it 3 times in one week.
Director's track. And that's how you know you love a movie, when you're watching the director's track.
Yeah, I've never watched a director's track before.
It's really insightful.
And each time I cried. I usually, sometimes, like, if a movie makes you cry, that's pretty big. It usually doesn't make you cry the second time, though. Especially if it's, like, 2 days later. No. I watched these, like, 2 days apart each time, cried each time. I didn't scream cry each time. I only sobbed the first time, but I still cried. Anyways, he added that pretty late on because when they were doing the test screenings of the movie, people were not... Because a big part of the movie is you're supposed to not be sure whether or not it's all real or if it's insane. Mm-hmm. And when you do the title text, it says all those things about people dying in the future and stuff. And then right below it, it says, excerpts from an interview with a paranoid schizophrenic, April 12, 1990, in Baltimore County Psychiatric.
Which is so interesting. I love that he did that. Mm-hmm. I think it really adds a lot to the film because one of my favorite parts of that film is... as I said earlier, the ambiguity of it all, and just like understanding the main character, Bruce Willis's mental psyche. Mm-hmm. That's like what I really take away the most out of the film, and we'll discuss more about that when we get to the hotel scene. But yeah, I think that was a great choice.
Right. So yeah, they did that after test screening because people were too convinced by the future. They weren't really believing that there was any possibility that he could be insane, right? So, do you want to explain the plot?
I can explain the plot. So, essentially, it's about this guy who's in the future. He's in prison.
Like an underground prison.
An underground prison because people have died from this virus. And essentially... Oh, God, excuse me. He has to volunteer to go back in time to do research to try to figure out, not necessarily to save people from the virus, but to collect data so they can stop and make it find a cure.
In the future.
Yes.
They're not going to stop the virus from killing everybody. They're just going to make a cure in the future.
Yes.
Because you can't change the past.
You cannot change the future or the past. And that being said, he just when he goes back and forth, he goes through time back and forth, he like becomes this like the first time you see him, he's like drooling and kind of
when he's gone back in time,
gone to the 1990s. Mm-hmm. He's like drooling. He's like as if the time machine like fucked him up, and he just essentially it follows him as he's trying to figure out how this virus started, who did it, and just throughout it, it's just great acting, great storytelling, and just really interesting things to think about.
Excellent writing.
Excellent
writing. So Bruce Willis goes back in time. He meets this psychiatrist, Dr. Catherine Rayleigh, and they think that he's like a schizophrenic, so they put him in a psych ward. In the psych ward, he meets Brad Pitt's character, who is named Jeffrey Goins, and they talk or whatever. And then Bruce Willis's character, whose name is James Cole, James Cole, he gets pulled back into the future, and they're like all disappointed in him or whatever, but they send him back in the past again. This time, he kidnaps Dr. Rayleigh, who is played by Madeleine Stowe, and he makes her drive them to Philadelphia so he can try to find out who the 12 monkeys are. Because the 12 monkeys are supposed to be the people who started the virus.
Yes.
So they're looking for the 12 monkeys in Philadelphia. They find out that Jeffrey Goins, Brad Pitt's character, is connected to the 12 monkeys. And at first, Catherine Rayleigh is kind of like held captive, but at some point she does... she like is also curious and wants to find out what happened, but she's a kidnapped victim.
Yeah.
And he finds Jeffrey Goins, and they're talking, and they're insane, right? Mm-hmm. And he's very certain that Jeffrey Goins is the one who is gonna release the virus and kill everybody, because his dad is a very famous virologist who makes viruses for a living, I guess, or cures or whatever. Bruce Willis gets pulled back into the future again, leaving Dr. Catherine Rayleigh, but they've bonded a little bit actually. Kind of reminiscent of Buffalo 66 in some ways.
Interesting. You know about Buffalo 66? Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen it? Mm-hmm. You've seen Buffalo 66? Mm-hmm. What the fuck?
Very, in some ways, very reminiscent of that sort of Stockholm Syndrome thing where the kidnapped victim grows attached to the kidnapper.
Okay.
Wouldn't you say that they're related in some ways?
I would say yeah. There's definitely similarities to Buffalo in terms of that dynamic. Buffalo 66, I do think, is a very different film.
Oh, most certainly. I just mean in that one aspect.
Yes.
So anyways, then he goes into the future. They've decided they're going to give him a full pardon because he has discovered who started the virus or whatever. But he volunteers to go back in time again under the guise that he is going to get more information or whatever. Really, he just wants to be with Catherine Rayleigh. Mm-hmm. So he goes back in time again. He finds her. She is decided that she believes him now, that he's
Yeah.
from the future, because of various evidences. She sees him in old photographs. She pulls a bullet out of his leg that's from World War One. Various things. She believes him now. But now he thinks that he's crazy because of various things. He believes her now. So they switch sides.
Yeah. And then one of my favorite scenes is around this time.
We'll get to that though. I'm just doing the basic plot.
Yeah.
So anyways, they're doing whatever. So anyways, now they're running from the cops because now they're both under the law is searching for them, and they are trying to escape because they have realized that the virus is real and they can't do anything to stop it. And so they're on the way to the airport when these animals are all escaping from the zoo. There's animals all over the highway and all over the city, and the cabbie woman tells them that the Army of the 12 Monkeys did that, and they realize that that's the only thing they did.
Yeah.
They realized the Army of the 12 Monkeys was just an animal rights group, and all they did was release a bunch of animals, and they're not going to release the virus after all. So they're very excited because they kind of think that there's no virus is going to happen. They're running away to the airport. Oh, and by the way, the whole movie is interspersed with scenes of...
This
I can't believe I forgot.
Yeah.
The movie opens with James Cole having a dream of him as a boy being in an airport with his parents before the virus happened, watching a man get shot.
Yeah.
And we see scenes, we see this interspersed throughout the film.
Mm-hmm.
We see different faces moving in and out. It's very dreamlike, right? And now we're getting to the climax of the film where he's going to the airport. He walks in the airport and he kind of realizes, this is where my dream is.
Yeah.
Where I see that man get shot as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So they're on the run from the cops. And as they're like trying to get out of there, Madeline Stowe's character, Catherine Rayleigh, realizes she sees a man and realizes that it's the assistant from the virologist's lab who she talked to earlier in the film, who she knows is crazy, and he's actually going to be the guy who spreads the virus. And she realizes, like, oh shit, it was this guy all along. Bruce Willis calls the future. He tells them that it's not the Army of the 12 Monkeys after all. And now they're sending people. They're all at the airport, right? You see like the guard, you see his old inmate, and they basically say, take this gun and you need to finish your mission or we're going to kill your girlfriend. We're going to kill Catherine Rayleigh.
Yeah. So
he has to do what they say, and they're doing whatever. They're trying to get to the airport. She tells him, that's him. That's the guy who starts the thing. And he runs after the guy to try and shoot him so he doesn't spread the virus. Can't get a clear shot on the guy. Turns around. This is all in slow motion. Turns around, and the cops are right there, and they shoot and kill Bruce Willis. They kill James Cole. And Catherine Rayleigh runs to him, and they're all in disguises, and she runs to him and grabs him as he dies, and it's very beautifully shot. And he dies. He fucking gets shot in the heart and dies. And the guy who's gonna spread the virus and kill everyone escapes. And she looks around, and she's like, but she knows about the dream that he had, so she's looking around, and then she sees him as a little boy, and she knows it's him. Mm-hmm. And she looks at him, and he just died.
Yeah.
But she sees the boy, and she kind of smiles.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that scene later. And then you see one of the mad scientists from the future is now in the past talking to the guy who's going to spread the virus, and that's how the movie ends, as you presume that she's going to get the virus and create a cure. Mm-hmm. And that's the basic plot of the movie, right? Guy goes back in time to get a cure, falls in love with a woman, there's a time loop, they die.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They all die, actually. Every character you see, almost every single character you see is going to die.
Yep. And with the time loop and the idea of the circle, like the end is built into the beginning in a way. And it's just it's just a very well written film.
Right. So when we're talking about like the opening scene with all the monkeys going around in a circle, that's representative of how the whole movie is just a circle and how the characters never escape from the circle. They just keep going on and on, right?
Yeah.
Because the movie opens with the young boy, seeing bits and snapshots of this airport shootout, and that's just the ending of the movie. The ending of the movie creates the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So the movie, everything that happens in the movie is because of what happens at the end. And what happens at the end causes what happens at the start, which causes what happens at the end, right?
Yeah.
That circle of monkeys. That circle of monkeys is also representative of the human race kind of just going in circles, not really knowing what they're doing, following each other's asses mindlessly. And then the one monkey that jumps out is supposed to be like the revolutionary, right? Like the Jeffrey Goins or the David Morse. Or David Morse being who plays the character who releases the virus, right? The kind of revolutionary free thinker, right? Is that one monkey who jumps out is another way to look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about some of the very interesting details of this movie.
Yes.
Okay. So when Bruce Willis is getting arrested in the year 1990, the cop at one point, he asks the cop where he's taking him, and the cop says, "South of France, buddy." And Bruce Willis says, "I can't go to the south of France. I have stuff to do." Blah blah. And it's kind of funny because not only does Bruce Willis's character actually go to France, World War I France, later in the movie, where he's transported to France and he gets shot. So he actually does go to France. The movie is actually inspired by a photo novel or a short film by what's the guy's name? Chris Marker.
No idea.
I think the guy's name is Chris Marker. It's a 1962 French film. It's like 27 minutes long. It's mostly photographs and narration. Do you want to talk about? It's called Legit.
Legit.
You want to talk about Legit?
I have not much to say about Legit. I watched it a long time ago. I didn't have time to rewatch it.
Legit is a film about. It's a very short film about basically this man who as a young boy would always go to Legit or the Jetty in France to watch the planes take off. And one day when he's there as a child, he sees a man get shot and die. And then shortly after that, the world is gone into war. Most of the world is destroyed, and he's a prisoner underground. And and it's kind of funny. They're German, but the people who are holding him captive, who won the war or whatever, are doing experiments on people, and they're sending people back in time through their thoughts. So he's sent back in time because they're experimenting on him, and he meets this woman in the past and falls in love with her. And then they're gonna not send him in the past anymore, so he can't see the woman anymore. They send him in the future to try and get resources in the future. So he talks to people from the future, and this is all that short film from 1962. He talks to people in the future, and they give him like energy or something like a battery. He goes back to the present and gives the Germans, presumably gives them the power source so that they can rebuild society. But he realizes that they're gonna kill him, right? He realizes that they're gonna kill him, and he's doomed. The people from the future reach out to him and they say, "Hey, we're going to bring you to the future because, why not?" Mm-hmm. And he says, "No, don't. Send me to the past because I want to be with that lady, with that girl." So they're fine, whatever. We don't give a shit. We're from the future. They send him to the past. He's at the airport, or he's at the jetty, and he sees her at the end of the walkway or the pier or whatever, and he realizes that his child self must be there, as he usually was on Sundays. And he's running to the woman. He's running to meet her. He can't wait to be with this girl. And suddenly recognizes a man who's on the jetty with him as one of his captors from the future. And he realizes you can't escape from the present. You can't escape into the past. You can't escape into the future. You're stuck in the present. The man shoots him and he dies. And the last thought he has is he realizes that this memory that he's been tied to since a young boy of watching a man get shot on the jetty was him watching his own death as a child. That
is so interesting. And to be honest, I love that as the ending of 12 Monkeys.
Well, we're talking about Legit.
Yeah. But knowing that Legit did it also, it's fascinating. I think they both do it. I haven't seen Legit in a while, but 12 Monkeys at least, it does it very well.
Incredibly well.
It's
They're very different films.
Very different films for sure. Very different styles. But this idea of just witnessing your own death, it's just fascinating. And understanding that you can't escape, no matter what that.
Well, they didn't know they were seeing their own death until it happened.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's about fate, this idea of fate, but it all wrapped into this idea of time travel. It's fascinating. It's beyond fascinating. So what about Legit?
So Legit, so the director of 12 Monkeys, Terry Gilliam, actually never saw Legit until after 12 Monkeys had been made. The writers of 12 Monkeys, David and Janet Peoples, they wrote the movie and asked Terry Gilliam to direct it. They were inspired by the movie, but it's interesting because 12 Monkeys is actually the very first time in America at least that the words "inspired by" were put in a film. Before that, it was always based on or it's made by or whatever. 12 Monkeys, the directors really pushed to have "inspired by" put in there because it was kind of inspired by Legit, but it's also very different from it. It's not supposed to be a replication of it. Right?
Yeah, it's very Terry Gilliam's DNA is throughout 12 Monkeys.
So it's supposed to be. So that's a little fun fact for you. First time "inspired by" was used in the vernacular of the Filmmakers Association of America.
But back to what you're talking about with the police going to south of France and all that.
Oh yeah, that was just a little Easter egg, basically.
Because yeah, Legit was French.
Yes, it was a French film.
But just piggybacking off of that,
Uh-huh.
one of the things I love about this movie, especially rewatching it, is realizing how much details there are that foreshadow later in the film, that call back to the film, to the movie, or to the beginning. It's all wrapped together. And like in the beginning, when he's like going through like collecting specimen, and we both noticed this. He goes to the place, he finds like the shirt, like the Hawaiian shirts. He sees
Right,
the
at
angel.
the beginning of the film, there's the foreshadowing because he ends up the place he's at in the future. He ends up going back to in the past.
Yeah. Also, just a little tidbit. The movie discusses vertigo, and the idea of vertigo.
Vertigo, the movie by Alfred Hitchcock.
Hitchcock, yes, Alfred Hitchcock is heavily a part of 12 Monkeys too.
It was also referenced in Legit.
Yeah. If you know anything about Vertigo, it's a film about it loves circles, you know? That's like a big theme of Vertigo is the circles in the beginning of the film, the circles in her hair. There's like a scene of the girl's hair, and it's like circular. And when he's driving, it's very circular. He moves in circles. So it's like it's almost kind of like thematically there's similarities to that in this film. And that's just little things. And these like tiny details, they all come together for me personally, and it builds this experience that truly it makes me awe-inspired. When I first watched this movie 12 Monkeys, I don't think I've ever seen Vertigo, but after on this rewatch I've seen Vertigo several times, and it made me think about that. The connection and themes, and also the idea of Vertigo is this idea, not to spoil Vertigo, but this guy, he questions reality in Vertigo because of what he witnesses. There's a death that he witnesses, and then he finds something later, and it makes him question everything about what's happening in life. You know, it's kind of what's happening in 12 Monkeys. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's the idea of questioning reality.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah.
Some interesting imagery in 12 Monkeys, cages. Bruce Willis is in a lot of the scenes in cages, right? In the future, he's in a cage. In the past, the second he gets there, they put him in a cage, right?
Yeah.
They put him in a cage the second word. There's always cage. He's always caged in, like an animal, like a monkey, right? There's kind of symbolism there, right?
Yeah.
How we treat people like animals, right? And at the end, they let all the animals out of the cages, and they put the virologist in a cage right at the end, right?
Yeah.
They cage the people who do the bad things, and they let all the animals free. You ever notice how at the end they let all the animals loose, and that's why there's bears and lions running around Philadelphia at the beginning?
Yeah.
So cages are very interesting. So are keys, right? Keys are mentioned a lot. When Brad Pitt helps Bruce Willis escape the psych ward, he goes, monkey, 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 and holds a key out. They also talk about Key West and the Florida Keys. The keys are everything. Like at the end, they're trying to escape to the Florida Keys, right? There's cages and there's keys. Very interesting, right?
Yeah.
The beginning is all about cages. He's all caged up, and at the end, they're trying desperately to get keys. The key to the cure, right? Kind of interesting juxtaposing ideas there.
Yeah.
But they don't really ever manage to get the keys,
Yeah.
and they're always stuck in cages. Right?
Yeah,
kind of interesting.
It's about how we can't escape.
It's about how you can't escape.
We can't escape.
Speaking of Brad Pitt and the psych ward,
Yes.
he did a lot of method acting for this film, and actually Brad Pitt, when he was getting ready for this role, checked himself into an actual psych ward. Apparently, according to the director's
According to Terry
commentary.
Gilliam. Yeah.
According to Terry Gilliam, he checked himself in as a paranoid schizophrenic, and apparently did such a great job convincing them that he was a paranoid schizophrenic that they were not going to let him go until I guess the crew went and got him.
That's crazy. That's really funny.
Yeah.
But that speaks to how well Brad Pitt does in this movie. This is, in my opinion, this is Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt's both of their best films in terms of their acting. Brad Pitt especially, there's sometimes Brad Pitt, he's always like this kind of like he's like the stoic actor, smooth talker. But there's some roles like in what's the movie called, Burn After Reading, and in this one too, he plays like these wacky characters that but he does it so fucking well.
when Brad Pitt's character is introduced in the movie, Jeffrey Goins, a cartoon is playing, and they keep cutting between the cartoon and himself, and his style of acting is very animated and very
cartoon.
He's supposed to be a living cartoon.
It's crazy.
He's supposed to be the representation of insanity in the movie.
Yeah, and he does it very well, and it's very convincing, and it's just very fun to watch. You know what I mean? It's very engaging.
This was not like a super low budget movie, but the budget wasn't huge. They did most of the filming in Philadelphia and Baltimore, where the movie takes place, in those two cities. When they were looking for places to film, they couldn't afford to get like a great soundstage and build a bunch of sets and stuff. So what they had to do was use these old abandoned power plants in Philadelphia. And so what they did is they repurposed the power plants to look like the future settings. And in some cases, some of the offices they used for scenes in the past, actually. So like when they're at the police headquarters, that's actually in the power plant. But mostly talk about the future scenes. They're using the power plant because there's all this electrical stuff, this mechanical stuff. It's very, I don't know. And Terry Gilliam said that it was probably better that they filmed it in a power plant rather than a soundstage because they found so many things in the power plant that they couldn't have come up with on their own. For example, the mechanism that they use for time travel. This gigantic kind of maybe copper or steel circle with a tiny little man-sized opening right in the middle.
It looks like almost like the Fallout vaults.
It kind of does, with this glowing light coming out of it. That was some sort of thing in the factory. Maybe it was used for, who fucking cares? And that's what they use for the time machine, right? And they send Bruce Willis through that, and that's how they send him back in time. Funny enough, it's kind of reminiscent of an MRI machine, which we also see in the film. This is another thing. There's lots of things that happen in the past that kind of happen in the future as well, right? Yeah. The time machine kind of looks like an MRI machine. Bruce Willis gets scrubbed down in the future because they're worried about the virus. He also gets scrubbed down in the past, in the psych ward. He sat before a board of like scientists in the future to determine what they're going to do with him. He sat before a board of psychiatrists and psychologists and doctors in the past, right? Yeah. So many little things. He gets thrown in jail in both, right? It's like the same things happen, which is, I think, supposed to be indicative of how things never really change. Yeah. And how we treat people like monkeys and like rats, Yeah.
That, and I also think it's supposed to help create this idea of building an unreliable narrator.
Right. We're not exactly sure what's going on because who knows what's real. Yeah. Maybe he sees the scientists when really he's talking to the doctors. Yeah. Right? Or maybe he thinks he's going back in time when really they're just putting him in an MRI machine. Yeah. And this is all helped by this one character he talks to for just a few minutes in the psych ward, who he says that he's from the planet Ogo. Yeah. So this character comes up to him. He kind of looks like, who does he look like? Doesn't matter.
The dude? He had like a suit on.
He's wearing a suit and bunny slippers, and he tells him, "I'm not really from the planet Ogo, but in my mind, I get taken to the planet, and I truly believe that I'm part of a celestial elite, and that we're going to do all these crazy planet things." And he explains to Bruce Willis's character how he truly believes these things, when really it's a case of mental divergence. And in order for him to get well, he needs to escape from that planet and go back to the real world. And so when you first watch it, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? I don't care about this. And then you watch it a second time, you're like, holy shit, this is the driving point of the movie. Yeah. Because from that point on, because Bruce Willis James Cole uses the term mental divergence later on in the film, because the idea was put into his head that maybe he's mentally divergent and he is imagining the future, right? Yes. So many little things, just like John said, everything ties back to each other. Yes. Nothing happens for no reason, just like Donnie Darko.
It's an airtight film.
Everything ties back to one another, right? Yeah.
And I will say, I guess, because you brought up Donnie Darko, I gotta say, yes, Donnie Darko is well written, but
this movie is much more well written.
I agree. But I feel like just this film's style, pacing, energy, other factors that I genuinely enjoy more, it brings it to a better experience for me watching this than like Donnie Darko,
Sure. Yeah. Also, at one point, Bruce Willis's character, James Cole, kills a couple people, like in self-defense because they were gonna murder him, so he kills them. And Catherine Rayleigh is freaking out, like, you just killed them. And he says, it's kind of a throwaway line, but he says, all I see are dead people. And I love that line because from James Cole's perspective, every single human being that he's meeting in the past is going to die of the virus. Yeah. In like a few weeks. And so every single person he sees, he knows in his mind, these people are going to die. Yeah. And it's kind of like a nothing line, but I really love that line.
Yeah.
Obviously, you could also tie it to The Sixth Sense. He says, all I see are dead people. And then he's in The Sixth Sense where the kid says, I see dead people.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that because people are going to say it. But
I think The Sixth Sense came out later.
it did.
Okay, so.
I know it did. It came out in 96, I think.
Yeah. But it's not like a throwaway line. I think it's more just to help build character development. Because as you said, with those details, like it builds this idea of he obviously doesn't care about these certain things because of this bigger picture he has in his head. That or he's genuinely insane.
I don't think he's insane. Well,
Okay.
actually, he's certainly not completely mentally sane.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone in the future is sane. Another interesting thing, actually, he's a very childlike character. When he kills those people, you can see he is very distressed. He did not want to do it. He's very emotional when he kills those people. He did not want to do it. Whenever he's vulnerable, like whenever he's with Catherine Riley, is the only time that he actually kind of loosens up a little bit and he lets down the tough guy demeanor, and he becomes more childlike. When he kidnaps her, he sticks his head out the window and he's just amazed by the fresh air and the trees, and he splashes in puddles later. He's a very childlike character, and you can tell that, like, first of all, what he saw as a child traumatizes him and puts him in this state of arrested development where he never really matures. Also, with going underground at the age of 8, he never gets real education, never really grows up. He's really still a child on the inside after all these years, and just has to, but knows how to survive and how to be strong, when really on the inside he is kind of just a child.
I want to talk about the scene in the hotel, but I will wait.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
There's also the time strobe effect, right? Every time he gets sent back in time, you see this kind of weird time strobe, crinkly effect. It's white and black and craggly.
Hit the Craigle.
So Terry Gilliam filmed that. It was like a ladder or something in one of these fucking power plants. And what he did was he just ran back and forth underneath like this ladder, and that's how he got the effect. It cost him he said it cost them $5, and it creates this really cool effect in the movie. It costs $5.
I love shit like that.
Later on in the movie, James Cole is running through the woods to escape from the cops or whatever, and they do the sound that you always hear when he goes back in time, but it's the trees instead. So you think for a second he's going back in time, and really he's just running through the woods. Pretty nice detail. Mm-hmm. There's also a funny fun fact when they're doing the filming, because a lot of the movie is set in like the winter and the fall time. And sure, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Whatever. On the first day of filming in Philadelphia, they really weren't sure if they were going to have snow in the movie or not. But on the first day of filming, it was snowing. So they decided, fine, we'll do snow for the film. It's going to be a snow film. It never snowed again.
That's really funny.
Isn't that funny?
But that's like,
so they had to use fake snow for every scene in the film.
yeah, that's just that's
And
how
it looks
goes.
great.
Yeah.
I'm glad they went with snow because it looks just great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the more difficult option, but they did it, and it looks better regardless. It looks better for the benefit of it.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
There's also the third time, because he rule of 3, so he goes back in time 3 different times.
Yeah.
The third time is when him and Dr. Riley have switched, kind of like Daffy and Bugs Bunny, right? Duck season, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You even seen that cartoon?
Rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, rabbit season, duck season.
So they switch.
Okay.
You see? I don't know why I was reminded of that. So when
That's interesting. And cartoons are a big part of this film.
I don't know. Yeah, they are. So suddenly James Cole is convinced he's a lunatic. Catherine Riley is convinced that he's really from the future.
Yeah.
And they go to the phone booth to leave a message to the people from the future. By the way, you notice, of course, how he had heard the message already earlier in the film. Mm-hmm. So part of the movie is how everything has already happened. And they're not really changing anything. Even the things that they're doing in the past have already happened. So, like, he's already heard the phone message that she records just then. Mm-hmm. That's when they realize that this is real. He's really from the future.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me think, at the end when he leaves that message in the airport, do you think they had that message all along, or it just took them a long time to decode it?
They probably had the message all along.
You think
there
so?
was probably some manipulation on their end.
That's what I think.
That caused... Because they know that...
Like, for example, one of the doctors says, like, to the chick doctor, hey, he's your pick. So she was always going to use James Cole. Like, maybe could they have known?
Yeah. They probably needed some level of... something. They probably needed something. I don't know. That's very interesting because they probably did have the code, but they probably
Like, did they know all along that it wasn't really the Army of the 12 Monkeys?
because if you think about it,
You know what?
When you see Jose,
Mhm.
when you see Jose, he's like back in time. He's like, I'm in World War
I'm in
One.
France.
Maybe his goal was to always go to the airport.
Well, he's not. He's another victim, though. He's just another, jail man.
Yeah,
He's
but
not
I think,
a mastermind.
yeah, no, but they probably had him go back, and his goal was to go back in time to give Bruce Willis's character the gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when he's in World War One, that was what his goal was.
To give him a gun,
Yeah,
but he went back too early.
yeah, because they fucked up. Because
Well,
they do that.
Well, the way that I think about it is because you can't change the past, really, everything that has happened will happen. I think that when they go the wrong times, it's because things need to happen. I think it's basically the Deus Ex Machina for the directors or for the writers is whenever they get sent to the wrong time, it's because whatever time they're being sent to, they needed it to happen. For example, when he's sent back to 1990 instead of 1996, it's because he had to meet Dr. Catherine Reilly and Jeffrey Goins early so that his character was established so that they would know him, so that he could put the idea of the 12 Monkeys into Jeffrey Goins' head, so that he could meet Dr. Reilly and give her the idea for the book she would write that would make David Morse go crazy, right? It was too early for him to go back to 96. The reason that he gets sent back to France, World War One, instead of the present, the reason he gets sent back all the way there is because Dr. Catherine Reilly needed definitive proof that he was from the past in order for the events of the movie to happen, right?
Yeah.
The reason he goes back there is so that she would actually be convinced he was from the future.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime that someone is sent back to the wrong time, it's because it needed to happen for the right order of events to happen in the future.
True. That or
That's my theory.
That is an interesting theory.
Game
Sometimes time travel movies
Film
are just
theory.
sometimes time travel movies are just weird like that, and so there could be just a lot of plot conveniences for that. Does it make the movie worse? I don't think so. I think no.
It makes it better.
I think it makes it more interesting.
It's very airtight.
I would say so. There's a lot to chew on with each scene, and but as you said earlier, when they were swapping, and he was this is one of my favorite scenes. I want to talk about this badly.
The hotel?
The hotel.
Talk about the hotel.
Okay.
It's a great scene. So I'll give preface and then you go, okay?
Okay.
So they're running from the cops. She is convinced that he's from the future. He's convinced he's insane. They go to this hotel and they get a room. It's like a prostitute hotel.
Yeah.
So they get a room and they're talking or whatever. And they're in the room in the hotel.
Yeah. I just think this is Bruce Willis's best moment in the film. He's just great acting. He's just kind of he seems tired. He just looks at the girl character, the psychiatrist.
Catherine Reilly.
He just goes, I want to be whole. I just want
I
to be whole
a
again.
whole person again.
I want to be a whole person again. And he's coming to terms with understanding he might not be mentally fully there. But then she's swapping, and it's just this great moment that just it was a turn. Like when I first watched this movie, that scene, it just like it scratched an itch in my brain that was like, this movie is truly something special, you know. And it really shows that Bruce Willis is a great actor, you know. It's just all around, just like everyone came together to make such a powerful film. You know what I mean? Like it's not just the director, it's not just the writer. The actors were doing their top. The people with the music. It is a little weird. The music. I mean,
It's great.
we haven't even talked about the camera work, to be honest.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah. Do we want to wait for that, or do you want to do that now?
Can we do the camera work now? We can do it now.
Well, no.
Boom! Check out the camera work.
This is the Gilliam cam.
Check out that's the official name of the cam this episode, the Gillian cam.
The Gilliam cam. So Terry Gilliam, he is.
Look at this camera now.
Terry Gilliam, he is known for having very wacky wide shots. Whenever I talk about Terry Gilliam, I always describe him as wacky. Like when I did my Blu-ray collection, I said he's a wacky dude, because shots like this, very 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 wide shots that are just kind of angled weird. It's just a weird film, weird looking film, but it works. Like in Brazil, it works best in Brazil, I think, because that film is supposed to be a satire. This film is a bit more drama, thriller.
Yeah.
So it's a bit strange to have it, but it works. You know, it just works. Because the future is very weird in this film.
The future is history. That's the tagline.
He also did Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That film is very weird too. that makes sense in that film because it's a very drug film, very drug fueled film.
This is a drug fueled film.
Yeah, their mental psyche's kind of fucked. Yeah,
There you go.
it's good.
Gilliam cam.
But yeah, he's known for these weird wide shots. That's why we have this Gilliam cam.
Got the Gilliam cam on Ashton all day.
Yeah, I just yeah, I wouldn't say Terry Gilliam is like my favorite director, but he's made several films that are like extremely good. You know,
That's what I hear.
so that's what I said.
So speaking of Vertigo, by the way, the scene where they're in the movie theater, they're watching Vertigo. She's doing his wig and his mustache so that they can go undercover or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Really great line in this scene because Bruce Willis or James Cole is watching The Scream, and he says, "You know, I've seen this movie before. I saw this as a kid, but I don't remember this scene. And this movie just like it feels different. Like the movie just feels different now."
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, "But the movie can't change. You know, you can't change anything about the movie. But I change. You know, the people change."
Yeah.
And it's so interesting on so many levels because he's talking about the movie that we're watching, right? Because you watch 12 Monkeys. First watch is good. Second watch, you realize different things, right? And the movie can't change. The movie's the same the whole time, but you're a different person each time you watch it.
Yeah.
It's talking about Vertigo. It's talking about the past and the present, right? Because he's talking about how you can't. He's talking about the movie, but to the audience, he's talking about how you can't change the past, right? And you can't change even the future, and how everything is always going to be the same, but it's just the way you look at it, right?
Yeah.
When you have the dreams, at one point in the dream sequence, you see Brad Pitt's face on the character, and you think Brad Pitt is, but that's just him dreaming it differently, right?
Yeah.
And there's uncertainty as to who is actually involved at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
But really, no matter how you look at it, it's always going to be the same. It's just the way you look at it is differently, right? You can't change the past. You can't change the future. It's always going to end up the same way.
Yeah.
Just depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
And then, so he says, you know, something about how you can't change anything. And what does Dr. Catherine Rayleigh say to him? What'd she say?
I don't remember.
She said, "You can't change anything. You might as well smell the flowers."
Mm.
Bruce Willis says, he kind of gets upset. He says, "There aren't any flowers." And that's also interesting because she's got a more optimistic look on it. She's trying to get them to the ocean because he's never seen the ocean and she wants them to be happy. But he's never known happiness. And he can't even fathom smelling flowers. That's just how miserable his life is. He can't even fathom that. You know, it's just great stuff.
Yeah, a lot of great character moments.
Great stuff in that. In a movie theater scene. Plus, also, when they get out of the movie theater and Catherine is in that blonde wig and she looks like a fucking Hitchcock woman.
The Hitchcock blonde, yeah.
She looks like a Hitchcock blonde.
Yeah.
And they do their little embrace or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's very Hitchcockian.
Yeah. Yep. This film, just to jump on what you said, I love that concept of films changing perspective on films. Like, there's this great. I remember a long time ago. One of my favorite writers has always been Charlie Kaufman.
Mm-hmm.
He's made great films like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. He's written Being John Malkovich, I'm Thinking of Ending Things, Synecdoche, New York. All these great films. He said in an interview that film is like passive. It's dead in a sense, as in you can't change it. But in theater, it's live. He describes theater as being live because every performance is a bit different.
Okay.
But film is passive. It's dead. But what he says is trying to find that passiveness and trying to make something that is, even if you look at it from now or 5 years from now, you get a different experience because your brain has changed. So a lot of Charlie Kaufman's films are about, very psychological, emotional stuff, like Eternal Sunshine, right? About the psychology of dating. When I first watched that movie, I just kind of thought it was kind of beautiful and romantic. The more recent rewatches, it's depressing, it's sad, it's toxic. My thoughts and my ideas of relationships have changed. With this film, how you can perceive it is you can see it when you first watch it at surface level. You can see it as, oh, this is a cool time travel movie. The more you think about it, the older you get, the more you mature, you see it as something more existential, right? Like you see your own life and you go, can I change things? How can I change things? Is my life determined? And what things in life is determined? What's not? You know? And it really makes you think, and that's why I love that scene in the movie theater.
Maybe that's why I cried.
Maybe that's why you cried.
Because I can't change anything about my own past and my own life.
Yeah. Yeah. But quote that one song, "Put the past away."
Jumper?
Yeah.
That's next week.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that,
What year are
next
we in?
week? That is next week, isn't it?
What, is this the future?
This is 1990.
1990 is the past.
No, 1996 is the past.
What the hell's going on here?
No, 1996 is the future. We're in 1990. Hard cut.
Hard cut. Cut's asshole.
No, what? I'm making references.
I know. I'm not.
Here's a fun fact for you. When they were doing the marketing for this movie, they actually put the little logo of the monkeys up in various cities with the text like "They're coming" or something like that to foreshadow the movie coming out soon, which I think is cool because that's what happens in the movie. The 12 Monkeys, the animal rights group, they put their logo all over the city and they say, "We did it," which is why the people in the future think they did the virus when really they just did the animals. And they did that in real life too, and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing about it is the airport. So this is like another behind the scenes thing, but when there's a lot of airport scenes, like the whole climax of the movies in this airport, but they didn't have access to an airport to film it. I guess no airports wanted to shoot like a violent scene in it because it's bad publicity or something.
I guess.
So what they ended up having was a convention center that they were allowed to use for exactly 1 week. That's not 1 week of shooting. That's 1 week total. So they had a week to turn a convention center into an airport and shoot all the scenes they would ever need for the movie.
Yeah.
And then tear down the whole airport thing and give it back to them as it was, right?
That's crazy.
So they had a very limited time to do everything they needed with no opportunity for reshoots. Yeah. One of the issues with this was the boy. They had a child actor who plays James Cole as a boy. And so when they were doing the casting for that, they found this one boy who was really great. He was a great actor. He was really smart. He really deserved the role. And Terry Gilliam was pretty sure he was going to go with this kid. But then right at the end, they had this one kid who had these really big, beautiful eyes. And Terry Gilliam was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go with the beautiful eyes. Because there's so much about eyes in this movie. There's a lot of eye stuff, right? Yeah. Especially with the little kid. They'd focus on his eyes like this a lot. Just real deep on his eyes. They care about his eyes a lot.
I don't know what you're gonna look. I don't know what it's gonna look like.
The eyes.
The eyes.
The eyes.
Okay.
So he does. So he goes with the big eye kid. The producer, whose name I think is Chuck Roven, was like, "Okay, that's fine. Let's keep the really good actor kid as like an extra, just in case we need him." So they're filming. They only have this airport for like a few days, and they get the big eyed kid in there, and he pretty much cracks.
He fails.
He cracks.
He cracks under pressure.
This is what I've heard. All of this is just what I've heard. And they're kind of like, shit, like, we can't use this. Thank Chuck Roven that we still have that other kid. So they end up using the backup kid, the extra kid. And he did a phenomenal job as child James Cole. And they recorded 23 and a half hours of footage on the last day they had the airport.
How the hell do you create... That's the whole fucking day.
Pretty much. So
you just start and stop?
I don't know.
How do you?
Or maybe they had 23 and a half hours total. I don't know. But and it was for like what, 20 minutes of actual footage in the film, maybe 25, maybe 30.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's a lot of the film though. It's like the whole third act is in the airport.
Not the whole third act. Like maybe half of the third act. Maybe a third of the third act.
I would say there's a big portion of the film that is in the airport. Because not only
probably like 20 minutes.
Because as you said earlier, they had to shoot scenes where it's Brad Pitt's face. I'm pretty sure they shot that scene where he's dying several times. So like
no doubt.
With different perspectives, different camera shots.
Because they really didn't want you to know it was Bruce Willis until the very end.
Yes.
You can tell. Here's a fun fact. You can tell that it's Bruce Willis by his hands. You see a few close-ups of Bruce Willis's hands early on in the film. And then in one of the dream sequences, you see Bruce Willis's hand, or you see the guy who's dying, you see his hand go onto the chick's face. And when I first watched the movie, I kind of went, there's the Bruce Willis hand right there. And I knew halfway in that Bruce Willis was going to be the one who died.
Okay.
But that's just a little bit of, I guess, foreshadowing for you. Right?
Yeah. That's the only scary part about foreshadowing. Sometimes it messes a twist up. But I'd prefer to have foreshadowing. I prefer to have
Foreshadowing's great.
details. Yeah.
Especially when you're on a second watch, you're like, damn, they knew
Yeah.
the whole time.
Exactly.
At the beginning of the film, when Bruce Willis is putting on his kind of astronaut suit or whatever is what they call it, to go onto the surface of a planet to collect specimens, when lots of foreshadowing happens there, the suit that he puts on, it's like this rubber thing. It very much is condom-esque. It looks like a condom that he's putting on, a full-body condom, right?
Okay.
With the gloves and the legs.
It does feel very latexy.
They say that in the director's commentary. They say that they purposely made it look like a condom.
A big condom?
Gigantic condom.
Why?
Because of ideas of like protection and like germs, and how in the 90s STDs and HIV was a huge thing. They wanted to kind of give that imagery of like people were really worried about HIV back in the day, and condoms and protection was a huge thing. I mean, talking about a virus in the future back in the 90s is great because people weren't worried about HIV. So making it relating to the sexual thing makes sense.
I guess, yeah.
So that was kind of interesting. Plus, it's also
interesting.
just kind of like dirty, kind of gross. Very much the type of future world that, I mean, a lot of the stuff that he's creating, like the time machine, it's all very plasticky, right? The scientists, for example, are wearing kind of like plastic garbs over their science smocks.
Outfit, yeah.
Have you noticed that? How they
Like it's
wear,
like a plastic see-through hazmat suit.
Right.
almost.
And it's kind of funny. It's like in the future world, this plastic sort of coat that at one point was supposed to be a protective thing is kind of presumably become sort of the fashion of the future. That's what they say in the director's commentary. It's become the fashion of the future for the elite, which is kind of funny because only the elite could afford the plastic coverings that would protect them. So now it's what they wear as their fashion.
Yeah.
But there's lots of plastic. Also, when Bruce Willis arrives in the past, he of course would arrive naked. That's how they do it in the movie. He arrives naked. And when he's in the police cell, he's wearing a lady's plastic see-through raincoat, presumably because that's just what he knows. That's what people wear, I guess. They have really weird clothes they wear in the future.
That's interesting. Wouldn't even think about that.
So the final scene with the astrophysicist woman, she sits down next to David Morse's character, who is the one who released the virus. Also worth talking about. When David Morse's character, Dr. Peters, he's the guy who is the assistant to the virologist, and he's the one who releases the virus, right? Mm-hmm. When he's going through airport security, that scene where the guy opens up the thing, you remember what I'm talking about? And he opens the virus.
And he just opens it
and makes him smell it or whatever.
Yeah.
David Morse's, this is a very brief scene, but his performance in this scene is incredible because his character is so like twisted and just like kind of disgusting in such a subtle way, because he knows, David Morse's character knows that this vial, as soon as he opens it, everybody in that room is now going to die.
Yeah.
As soon as he opens this, he knows that everybody in that room is going to die terribly, including him. He's going to die also.
Yeah, and he doesn't really care.
And he opens it up and makes the guy smell it, and you kind of see like a really subtle kind of smile as he makes the guy smell it, and he puts that away really quickly. And then he puts it away, realizes he's gotten away with it, nobody suspects anything, and he kind of just looks around the room. Because he realizes this is going to be one of his last moments. And it's just, I'm getting like shudders thinking about it, because it's just so sick, and it's such a subtle performance, because his character doesn't really, he's an incredibly minor character. He has like 3 scenes.
Yeah.
But he's a guy who does the virus. And when he actually releases the virus, it's just, nobody notices, but you can see on his face just how, I don't know.
He knows the severity of it, but no one else does.
And he's just like a sick bastard.
He's a sick fuck.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It's a really great, we should watch that scene. 'Cause that little 2-minute scene with David Morse is just crazy.
Yeah.
He does so much with so little. It's wild. But anyways, he gets on a plane and he's going to all these places for this virus, and the woman he's sitting next to is the woman from the future. Mm-hmm. So one of the scientists. So she actually came back to the past and is sitting next to him on the plane, presumably to get a copy of the virus to take into the future to make a cure for the people in the future. Yeah. There's some ambiguity with that scene, which is interesting. She says to him, "I'm in insurance." You don't know if she's saying "I'm in insurance" or if she's saying "I'm an insurance." I'm in insurance like as a cover, or if she's saying "I'm an insurance" in case Bruce Willis's character fucks up, or whatever.
I thought of it as she said she's supposed to work in insurance.
It could be that. There's ambiguity to it though. It's really interesting.
But I was thinking to myself, what would that mean if she was working insurance?
That could just be her cover. Because she's clearly it's the woman from the future.
Yeah, I know, but I was thinking, how could that connect to
Her
something?
working in insurance, ensuring that the people in the future are able to get up to the surface.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Sure.
Like insurance. Or, yeah. I mean, what does insurance do? Insurance is when you're insuring something. You're ensuring that it's going to be okay. You insure your house so that if it gets flooded, you know it'll be okay.
Yeah, she's insuring the world almost.
Basically.
Okay.
But there's ambiguity to it. Is she going to save the people in the past? No, because you can't change the past. But there's ambiguity to it. Is she going to save people in the future? Probably. Is she going to be in cahoots with David Morse's character? Probably not. But there's ambiguity to it, right?
You really don't know. It's kind of open.
You've got a pretty good idea that she's going to make a cure, but really anything could be the case.
Yeah.
What else is there? Here's a really interesting detail. Madeleine Stowe's character always refers to James Cole as James, or Mr. Cole, or whatever, called him James. Almost every single other character in the movie refers to James Cole by some other name. The one homeless guy refers to him as Bob.
Bob. Yeah.
Jeffrey Goins, I think, refers to him as like Jack or something. People call him Jimbo. People never refer to him as like with his actual name because, and I think the reason is because he doesn't really have his own identity. He doesn't have his own sense of self. He's not a whole person. He's also not respected by all those people. The one person who does respect him is Catherine, who refers to him by his actual name. Even Jose calls him Cole. When really you can tell James likes to be called James, because that's what he tells Catherine. He likes that she calls him James. Mm-hmm. She's the only person I think that calls him James in the whole movie. Everyone else calls him some made-up name.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting. I also love that scene where the psychiatrist guy is just going, "Calm down, Jimbo!"
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. Just, Jimbo, stop it!
So the third time he goes into the past, he's already gotten his full pardon. He's already basically got his life set in the future world. Mm-hmm. They say people will take over, like, you're good. You get a pardon. Women will want you. Basically, James Cole's life in the future is going to be as good as one's life could possibly be in that future.
But they knew. I think by that point, they knew they're lying to him. They knew.
They might have known. Well, Jose does say, if only we could have gotten the message sooner. His message in the airport about how it wasn't the 12 monkeys, he says, if only we could have gotten it sooner. So maybe they just didn't get it yet.
Maybe.
So maybe they did, maybe they didn't know. But he basically has his whole life set out. He has a great life going for him in the future, and decides to risk it all by going back in time again. He tells them he's going to do it because he wants to save the future or whatever. He's really doing it because he wants to be with Catherine Rayleigh. And he ends up dying because of that. So he kind of sacrifices everything to be with her, just like in Legit. And the guy in Legit could have gone to the future and lived a great life. He doesn't. He gets killed.
And as we kind of wrap up talking about this movie, I just want to emphasize this idea that I don't love this film because of all these details. I love it because it's a good movie. It's great. It has just so many technicals are great. These are all icing on the cake, right?
It's written incredibly well.
It's written extremely well.
David and Janet Peoples did a magnificent job writing the film.
Yeah, and Terry Gilliam had a great understanding and vision, and the actors did a great job bringing it to life. Like, us explaining and learning about these details, these little tiny things that make the film, it's all icing.
It's just extra.
It's extra.
Here's the thing.
It makes it better.
Any single one of these on their own would be like, oh, okay, whatever. All of them together is what makes the jelly beans.
Sure. I would say...
How good is a single jelly bean?
It's okay.
How good is a bag of jelly beans?
It's better, I think.
Let's assume for a second you're a person who really likes jelly beans.
But I don't like this analogy because for a few reasons. One, if the movie sucked ass and these were all the same details, I would be like, okay, but it was wasted on a bad filmmaking, bad movie. But the movie just happens to be well made, and so it just makes it better. And the reason why you say jelly beans, it could be Bean Boozled. You could get vomit.
A lot of these details are like what makes a movie great, though. Like talking about certain scenes, certain lines.
Yeah.
The way that things were written, the way that decisions were made.
The choices that the filmmakers made, yeah. It all ended up being stellar, I would say. I
You would appear so. You would appear so.
I don't know what else to say. I think we thoroughly discussed this film.
Super thorough.
Any other thoughts? I genuinely loved it. As we talked about it, my opinion on the film, you know, when I first watched it, absolutely loved it. Second time I watched it, loved it. Not as much as the first time, but as we were talking about this film and really dissecting and getting into it, I was like, yeah, this film is top notch filmmaking.
One more thing, kind of an interesting tidbit. A lot of what's interesting to me is it kind of felt like they said, hey, what if all those doomsday prophets in the past were actually time travelers? Because you see a lot of that. People doing prophets on the street. One of the prophets on the street sees James Cole and says, hey, I know you. You're one of us. And you would presume that that guy's actually from the future.
Yeah.
And they talk about the Cassandra complex and how there's prophets who foretold of a virus and stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's interesting to me because that's kind of a funny idea. Like, well, what would a lunatic prisoner do if he was sent back to the 1400s and he knew the world was going to end? I guess he would ramble about being from the future and how the world was going to end, right?
Yeah.
That's an interesting detail.
Yeah. Also, I love the scene where the guy is just like on the ground with the smoke in the street.
Oh yeah, he just gets up. Hey, Jim Bob, you got a nice gilly there. Gotta take out your teeth. And
So
they run
funny.
away.
Yeah. It's great. Just fucking great.
Gotta watch it.
Gotta watch it. I give it fuck off. I give it a 10 out of 10. Give it a 10 out of 10.
I also give it a 10 out of 10. You raised your score.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a 10. It has to be a 10.
It's a 10 out of 10 film.
It's a 10 out of 10.
One last thing. Like a little more than a decade ago, they made a TV series called 12 Monkeys that was kind of based on the movie. I watched the first episode and it wasn't great. People love the TV show.
I've never seen it. It doesn't look great. It's a sci-fi film. It's a sci-fi show, so I don't really give a
People
shit about it.
really like this show. I watched the first episode and it seemed like maybe it has some potential. It's very different from the movie.
It's like how Fargo is an amazing movie, and then they made a TV show for Fargo.
That's very different.
Yeah,
But
it's almost like that. But it's like, who cares?
Right. So I might watch the show, I might not. I don't have anything to say about it except that the first episode was fine and very different from 12 Monkeys, and it might as well be kind of a different thing.
Okay.
Like really different.
Yeah. Never seen it.
That's
Don't
12 that's 12 Monkeys. Watch it.
Yeah.
Buy it.
Why haven't you seen it yet? You watched this whole fucking video, but you didn't watch.
Pause the video now, go watch it. Go back in time and watch it.
Yeah,
instead of
pause the
watching
video now since we're done with the fucking part, and go watch the movie.
You know what we should talk about now?
What should we talk
Oh my
about?
god, my cassette's over there. We should talk about
We're talking about the music.
Train
Talking about Train.
by Train.
Is the song Train on this?
It's not on this one. It's on my
Aw,
cassette though. You
okay.
hold that while I get the cassette.
Heck yeah, brother.
Let's talk about the album Train by Train.
Meet Virginia.
Meet Virginia is a song on this album.
Train. So I know nothing about Train really.
Train, the song is on the cassette.
And I'm gonna be so honest with you. When you said let's talk about Train for the next album recommendation, I was like, oh, don't they make bad music?
A little bit.
It's so interesting. And what are we doing? Oh, am I doing a cassette now? And so I was like, okay, maybe their first album is good. And it's different. It's just not what I expected. It's not what I expected the album to sound like.
Train's first album came out in 1998. Technically, they put out a demo version of it in 96, but the major label debut was 98 with the regular track listing.
Okay.
If you know any song on this album, you know Meet Virginia, and you probably don't know that. I mean, if you played it, you'd be like, oh, maybe. It's not even that popular of a song. It's the only song you might know from the album.
Yeah.
Train, you know from hits such as
Let's say it.
Drops of Jupiter from 2001. This is their second album, which is also pretty good. Let's get that. You see that, Train?
Is Hazel's sister on this
No,
one?
his sister is not on Drops of Jupiter.
Okay.
You might know Train from this album from 2003, My Private Nation, which has a song called Calling All Angels, which I guess was popular. This album sucks, pretty much. You probably know Train from this album, Save Me San Francisco, from 2009, I think, 2010, which has the song Hey Soul Sister on it, which is, I think, like a 12 times platinum song.
12 times platinum.
Super duper duper popular song.
Yeah, they still play it on the radio.
All the time. I'm wearing the Train shirt right now. Mariana got this shirt for me a couple years ago. I don't like this album. I don't like this album. Really.
Why do you own them then?
I don't listen to them a lot, but you know,
Interesting.
I have listened to these albums maybe twice.
There are some movies in my collection I don't like.
I do like this album by Train. Drops Jupiter is actually pretty good too, if not as good as their first album though.
Okay.
So first, if you want to, we can talk about who you know and how we know Train. You want to talk about that?
I want to talk about. Yeah, we can talk about.
We can talk about what people's perception of Train is.
Train, I feel like is. I've never really listened to any of their discography, and so hearing that, I just feel like they're just kind of like this like old early 2000s poppy kind of
nothing band.
Kind of like one of those 1,000 in a bucket kind of band. You know what I mean?
Basically, right?
And so it's like Drops of Jupiter is a good song.
Great
Hey Soul
song.
Sister, it's like it has that catchy vibe. It's just
I'm sick of it.
It sucks. I'm gonna straight up say it. Hey Soul Sister sucks.
We don't like the song Hey Soul Sister. Don't leave a comment about it.
I'm gonna be so honest with you. I'm gonna say it. It gives me weird vibes.
It gives John weird vibes. It doesn't give me weird vibes. I just don't like it.
Hey Soul Sister.
Tell them your vibes. Let's hear it. Let's hear the vibes.
Now that I'm on the camera, I don't want to. I was talking to Ashton about it, and Ashton was like, he walked up to me like really close, like
I was like,
he gave me that SpongeBob look, and he was like, "What do you mean by this?"
yeah, I was like, huh?
It's just about it gives off. It gives off. Let me fetishize black people vibes.
That's what John thinks.
I have nothing to back up my conclusions, but it gives weird vibes.
I'm trying to see if there's any black references.
To Hey Soul Sister.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lyrics. The way you can cut a rug, I think that's dancing.
Yeah, cutting rug is dancing.
You're so gangsta, I'm so thug, you're the only one I'm dreaming of, you see. I think the only thing he really says that makes John think that
is the Soul Sister thing.
the name of the lead singer is Pat Mahanan, I think. I don't fucking know what is Patrick Monahan. Patrick Monahan, stupid name. By the way, Patrick Monahan, you have a stupid name.
By the way, you suck.
The only thing that makes John think that they're singing about a black chick is Soul Sister.
Also, I remember looking up something about it and someone talking about it.
Maybe Patrick Monahan, stupid name,
Is into Soul Sisters. I
guess
don't
he
like
might
it.
be.
Isn't that weird?
No, John said that. He said, "Isn't it weird?" And this is what I did.
I
said,
gotta look it up.
I said, so it's weird for a white person to be interested romantically in a black person?
No, that's not it at all. He gave me like this up close look, his eyes squinted like he's a goddamn person with no eyes. He's like, tell me about this.
And then
I'm like, as if he's trying to trap me in.
And
this
I'm like,
trap.
John, what about Brown Sugar by Rolling Stones? Great song.
Never heard of
What's it about? It's about being about a black chick. Think about Mojo Pen. What's that about? Black Beauty. It's about a black chick, right? Sometimes chicks are black, and sometimes they are romantically interested in men who aren't black. Is that wrong?
No.
And is there any amount of fetishizing in the song Hey Soul Sister? I don't think so. Because that's literally just a straight up romance song with typical romance lyrics. And the
like
only
this
thing that
anymore.
makes John think that it's a racial thing at all is the words soul. Just the word soul. Word soul. You want to look it up?
I don't like this
Go look it
anymore.
up.
I'm pretty sure the song is about a white guy thinking he's able to be gangster because he's with a black girl.
Yeah, John's looking at Reddit right now. Which means
Shut
it's correct.
up! It's not necessarily problematic. So at the end of the day,
I'm
a bastard.
Cannot have an opinion of his own. He needs other people on the internet to tell him what to believe.
well, the thing is, I'm not gonna have an opinion that strongly because I don't go out of my way to look at Hey Soul Sister. We've talked too much about Hey Soul Sister. Let's get it. We're done with it.
We're done with Hey Soul Sister. We give this song a 3 out of 10. We're moving on.
I give it a bag of dicks out of 10. Let's talk about the actual album.
Let's talk about our actual recommendation. You guys know about Train. This is their first album. It's actually pretty good.
I'm gonna get banned.
We'll cut around it. This is like country rock. It's pretty cool. Country rock, kind of buzz rock, kind of college rock, right? When you think of like Matchbox 20, Gin Blossoms, maybe a little bit of Counting Crows. That's sort of like popular rock music that was playing on the radio back in the day. That's kind of what this is. Before they turned more into pop music. Meet Virginia is kind of that thing, right? Meet Virginia is a song about I'm totally in love with this chick and she loves me and this is my dream girl and she's awesome and she's crazy and mentally ill, but also she's not real. And I hope that I meet her one day. Like every song that came out in the not even the mid to late 90s, in the early 90s, in the mid to late 90s, in the early 2000s. Like,
Yeah.
very popular style of song. Matchbox 20 does a song like that. Third Eye
Yeah.
Blind does a song like that. Like,
Yeah.
they've all done the crazy chick song.
Yeah, I will say in the Meet Virginia, with some of the lyrics I do like, is kind of like the she smokes a pack a day. Oh wait, that's me.
But anyway,
Yeah, I like that kind of.
she doesn't own a dress. Her hair's always a mess. You catch her stealing, she won't confess. She's beautiful. Smokes a pack a day. Oh wait, that's me. But anyway, she doesn't care a thing about that. Hey, she thinks I'm beautiful. It's his perfect
She
girl.
thinks I'm gay.
She's like the perfect dream girl. She doesn't exist. That's what's called Meet Virginia, because you can't wait to meet her. At one point, he rhymes life with life 3 times. He says, so she goes and lives her life, and she thinks about her life, holds her hair back while she screams, I don't really want to live this life.
That's powerful.
Which I think is baseless and lame, and he could have chosen different words probably. But it's kind of telling that even his dream girl is crazy, I guess. There's not really a lot of substance to the song itself. And a lot of these songs aren't necessarily full of substance, although some of them do have substance. Should we talk about some of the songs?
I will. Before we go into it, though, I do want to say, I'm not a huge fan of this genre.
You haven't listened to a lot of it.
I know a bit of Matchbox 20. I know a bit of.
I have a Matchbox 20 album. I have their first album.
I listened to a bit of the Counting Crows. I did like the Counting Crows more. This is just
much more substance to Counting Crows than this.
Yeah, this just it just rolled off from one year out the other. You know,
You didn't really listen to it actively.
I guess, but
Well, the thing is, Counting Crows, that's like in my number 15th favorite album, right?
yeah.
What is this, like 86 on my list? Doesn't mean it's a bad album, no. But I don't like it because it's like the greatest album ever. It's just pretty good.
Okay.
So we talked about Meet Virginia. Then there's I Am, which is a song about masculinity, and it's am I the man I think I am? Am I the son I think I am? Blah blah blah. He talks about how he's never been to a radio or never been to a rodeo and never climbed a real rock, and ideas about masculinity and what is and isn't, which is like, I don't know, maybe
give you like a
interesting.
stimulation toy.
Yeah, I'm giving you a toy. If You Leave is a pretty typical, like, oh man, if you leave, I'm gonna be so sad little song. Homesick is pretty good. It's a song about, I guess, a country girl going to the big city and how people are different there, and how back in her hometown, people would hold doors for her, and they thought she was beautiful, but when she's in the city, everything's different. So they're kind of trying to be like a country rock band, right? And then there's Free, which is pretty good, and it's all about how he is like free living, and everybody thinks that he's awesome because of it, but he thinks he's insane. And then Blind is like maybe the most substance-full, the song that has the most substance on the album, perhaps. Blind is a song about getting older and changing, and it's actually kind of introspective and interesting. It's a very slow song, but it's kind of my least favorite song on the album just because it's so slow. Although it is saying the most. It's like the one song on the album that really has almost anything to say.
Yeah.
Eggplant is the first song on side B. It's my favorite song on the album. I played it earlier for John. I told John this is my favorite song on the album. And what did you ask me?
I said interesting. Why is this your favorite?
I like it.
And I was like, fair enough. And then we got out of the car.
We just moved on. Why do I like Eggplant? I just like it.
It's cool.
What is it about? Stuff. He says, eggplant and caviar for you is a line he says. He says, apple pie and apple seed, all the mouths that I must feed, cold sheets of tumbleweed, all the ones that I must need. So, I guess it's about being there for people or something, but
I guess.
I just like it. It sounds good.
Okay.
It just sounds good.
I get it. At the end of the day, some things you just like because it connects or hits that itch in your brain. You know what I mean?
And that song is so emblematic of how I feel about the album as a whole. Do I like this album? Absolutely. I like this album a lot,
It
actually.
just itches your brain a little bit.
Why do I like it? Just do.
You know, it doesn't itch my brain in the slightest. It
Doesn't itch them.
I just don't. I think it's quite not good.
You don't like it. You think it's actively bad?
Not as.
You think it's just not interesting.
It's not interesting to me. The thing is, I don't know how to criticize music to a point where I know something is bad or good. That is something I am not familiar with.
Well,
It's easier for me to look at a movie and go, "That's bad."
if you don't have an opinion on something like this, to you it's probably just like boring.
It
or
just
uninteresting.
I just probably will never listen to it ever again.
That's fine.
You know, will I say it's bad? I can't. I don't have the tools to say if it's bad or good.
The song Idaho on the next song on the album is pretty good. It's about how he doesn't like some states. He doesn't like any state except Idaho. They're from San Francisco, so I don't know why.
Why Idaho?
Why Idaho? But it sounds good. There's Days, which is a little slower. What is Days about? I have no idea. I like it. Then there's Rat. What's it about? No idea.
Probably about a rat.
I like it. Swaying is the last song in the album. I also like that song. The last like 3 songs of the album are all like good, but I don't know what the hell they're saying. Fun facts for you.
Yep.
This little LP I have here didn't exist for 27 years. They never pressed this album on vinyl until like a couple months ago. So for a long time it was only on CD and cassette. I first got the CD copy of the album about 2 years ago. I got the cassette copy about a year ago. And then this year, they finally pressed it on vinyl. I never thought they would do it. I had resigned myself to my fate of never having it on vinyl. Here it is. I'm very happy that they pressed it on vinyl. One thing. You already know what it is. One unfortunate thing about the record is when you look at the little track listing here, you'll see there's only 11 songs.
Yeah.
And the track listing on this will also say just 11 songs. It also says it ends with saying, however, on this cassette here and on the CD version of the album, we actually have 2 bonus songs. That's right. 2 hidden tracks that play after Swaying. The first bonus track on the first album by the band Train, the album being called Train.
It's the song Train.
That's right.
Train.
By Train.
On Train by Train.
Yes. Train on Train by Train. And Train, this bonus track, is actually one of the best songs on the album.
That's really funny.
And I just don't get to have it, which sucks a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's what is it about? I don't know. It's great though. It's actually really good. It's the longest song down. It's like almost 6 minutes long, and it's got this really cool like chorus or mid-chorus or whatever, where it goes like, "You're the wife of a life on the street that will beat on the back of you, wet on the track of the train in the rain, and it's coming fast." And he says it better than I said it, certainly, but it's funky and it's cool and I dig it.
Yeah.
And then the actual last track on the album is Heavy. And it's the other bonus track, and Heavy's very good. And he just goes over and over again. He goes, "I'm heavy on my knees, yeah." He says, "I'm heavy on my knees."
Okay.
Over and over again. It sounds really nice.
It just scratches the
Oh,
brain.
you, what you do, got me feeling like you don't want me to. Forget how it goes. I do know what the song Heavy is about, but I forget a little bit. I think it's just about a person who's done him wrong, and it's making him feel heavy. It's a kind of a slower song. It works great as the actual closer to the album. It's too bad that it's not on the record, but not a huge deal.
Yeah.
It's and those 2 last tracks in the album are like 2 of my favorite tracks.
That's crazy.
You guys want to hear something crazy? I've actually never listened to this album before. I know Soul Sister, and I know I have no Drops of Jupiter. I borrowed all this stuff.
You bought it all today.
No, I borrowed it from Lily, who does like Train, and I borrowed her Train T-shirt, and I made up all of this shit.
It's all fake. I didn't even know what he just.
I don't know if it's accurate or not. Maybe it is. We'll see. It's all bullshit.
That's so funny.
Did you realize it was all bullshit?
Yes.
You knew?
You told me.
Oh, I guess I did.
You said, "Guess what, buddy? I'm not listening to this. This is bullshit." He said this is gonna be the bullshit episode.
This is not the bullshit episode.
No, that was funny though.
The movie 12 Monkeys, great. The album Train, also great.
Want to hear something
Less
crazy?
great. What? You've never seen the movie?
I've never seen 12 Monkeys. Never seen
that's
12
funny.
Monkeys.
If you're gonna listen to a Train album, listen to their first one or listen to Drops of Jupiter, I guess.
Okay.
They're both good.
And please don't kill me for Hey Soul Sister.
It's fine, dude.
Yeah. That's the end of the discussion video part. Well, any of the
This
other
is a
topics?
great episode.
I think those are pretty.
I had a lot to say about 12 Monkeys. I feel like and it's good because I didn't have as much to say about Train, but we got a good amount in there.
Yeah.
We've had some good conversations,
Anything else you want to finish off with?
I guess I'll say one extra thing. I was shopping with Chance and Lily at a record store the other day, and I found this. I'll mention this real quick.
What is that?
This is a little MTV CD that I bought at a local record store. You want to take a look at that?
What is this? Is it just a bunch of like
It's a compilation.
compilation stuff?
It's called MTV Buzzbin. It's the second Buzzbin CD they made. Buzzbin was a thing that MTV did, I think, starting in the very late 80s, where they just had a list of, like, popular songs, maybe.
Okay.
And they made a couple compilation CDs. I found this in the wild, and I just thought it was really cool. It's got a lot of really cool songs in there. Counting Crows is on there, for example. Love Fool by the Cardigans is on there, if you know that song.
Where's Counting Crow? Oh, there it is, Mr. Jones.
Love me, say that you love me.
Yeah, I know that song.
Lots of very popular, like, alternative rock songs on there. It's just a cool little CD to have.
That's dope.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's a little... I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I'll keep it or not.
Maybe just listen to it.
I already listened to it. This one was funny. Track 11 was funny because it's an instrumental. And it's like 7 minutes long. And it just does the same thing over and over again. It's like not that great. The first like minute of the instrumental, I was like, damn, this is awesome. This sounds really cool.
And he does it for 7 minutes.
And it changes like a little bit. And then like 4 minutes in, I was like, okay, cool. That was a really great song. Oh, it's still going. And I remember like I was listening with Lily, and I was like, okay, it's got to be done soon, right? And she thought I was getting pissed off. And by the time it ended, I was like, okay, Chemical Brothers, you got to cut it in half.
Yeah.
Because it was good, but it wasn't that good. It's a fucking instrumental. You don't need to keep going.
That's really funny.
And I like the check this out. I like the artwork on there too.
That's
Look at
dope.
that. First of all, check out that CD.
Okay.
And then check this out, bro. Look at that.
That's dope.
Pretty dope.
Okay. I like the circle vibes.
You want to show them the CD?
Yeah, it's just like a circle vibe with bumblebees on it.
Pretty cool. Little and I guess they did some donation thing. And this is like an old CD. This is from, when did these songs come out? This is from 96, I think, because The Distance came out in 1996, and that's the oldest or the youngest song on here. It must be from, no, it's from 97.
Okay.
Anyways, that's another thing I got recently. Pretty
That's
cool
cool.
stuff. I also got Lily a couple CDs. I got her Beck album and Marcy Playground.
Yeah.
They're great albums. Oh, you know what? You know what we have to do?
What? Recommendations?
That's right.
Before recommendations, I do want to say I went to a record store recently with Ashton.
That's true.
I found a movie I've been dying to get. Maybe it's up here.
It is right here.
Right here. Oh, fuck. God damn it. I got Birdman. I got Birdman on Blu-ray. It's awesome. It's awesome.
You got it for $5.
This is I feel like this is a hard to get movie. It's a hard to get movie because it's like from the places I've wanted to get
On the
them,
internet.
On the internet, it's expensive. This movie got it for $5.
He told me it's like $40 on the internet.
And it's a Blu-ray. It's a Blu-ray for $5. Fantastic. Love that shit. All right, let's get to the recommendations today.
Next episode.
For the next episode, I'm gonna recommend a movie. It's kind of weird that I'm recommending two really, really good movies back to back, but I don't really give a shit. I'm recommending American Psycho from the year 2000, starring Christian Bale.
Yes.
Directed by, I don't remember her name. It's a lady.
It is a lady. This is the uncut version.
Yeah, most Blu-ray and 4Ks are uncut. Should be right there.
Oh, Mary Harron.
Mary Herron.
Mary Harron.
Yeah.
Something like that.
She hasn't made many films, but American Psycho is definitely her better film.
Someday.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch it. I fucking love the movie.
John, what album are you recommending?
I'm recommending an album. I pretty much walked in. Ashton was sitting in my room, and I walked into my room, and I was like, Ashton, please recommend this album because. Fun fact. I'll tell the story when we get to the part You can
tell the story now. We'll do it again.
Okay. Essentially, he just was like, let's just play.
We were playing. I was trying to play the Counting Crows album, but Carter said, "Can we please listen to Third Eye Blind?" Because I had been playing the background a lot. And I was like, "Fine, we'll listen to Third Eye Blind, the first album."
So we just put it on, and I kind of fell in love with it.
He liked Third Eye Blind a lot. He liked it even more than the Counting Crows album, This Desert Life.
Yeah. So I was like, "Can we please talk about it?" And so. I apparently am recommending Third Eye Blind.
John's basically recommending it. He begged me to recommend it, and I said that I will. So I'm recommending the album Third Eye Blind by Third Eye Blind for next episode.
I'm excited for it.
Released in 1997. Another one of my favorite albums ever, actually. It's not like John likes it.
Is it a top 10?
It's not a top 10.
Okay,
I think
good.
it's in my top 40, though.
Okay, that's good.
So it's high up there. I'll have a lot of things to say about it.
Because I know you are doing every 5, you're doing top 10.
The Third Eye Blind actually used to be in my top 10.
Okay.
It was in my top 10 for a long time. I think now it's in my top... It might be like number 26 or something.
That's fun.
It's pretty high up there.
That's cool.
It's like the best college rock album, I think.
Yeah.
That's the album that you should listen to, Third Eye Blind. You probably know the song Semi Charmed Life. Do 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 do.
Yeah, that
or
one.
Jumper.
Jumper. You know
Or
Jumper.
how's it gonna be?
Everyone knows Jumper. Step back from that ledge, my friend. Yeah.
Probably.
Everyone knows it.
Wish you would step
That's
back
not.
from
No.
that
You'll get
bed.
copyright. You'll get copyright claimed if you. That's a popular song.
All right, fine.
But no, like yeah.
We're not gonna make any money from
If you
this.
turned on alternative rock music on the radio, you've listened to Jumper.
Semi Charmed Life is very popular as well.
Yeah, true. But yep, that's the Bingo Bongo podcast episode.
Thank you so much for watching episode 6.
This was a good episode.
This is a very good episode.
Last episode we had to do reshoots. That's why we were fucking shirtless half the fucking video.
It was very intense.
It was a weird
endeavor.
video last episode.
This is going to be a lot less, especially editing wise. It's going to be longer, and it's going to be a lot less editing.
This is gonna be nice. It's gonna be good.
Thanks for watching.
I was fucking guys. Can we please shove the pine cone up my ding dong? Oh god.
Say goodbye.
Bye. Bye. Goodbye. I don't like this.
Say it one more time.
Bye. Don't you record me, you
What
fuck ass.
gangster? Tell me gangster. So the word gangster. I'm so you're so gangster. I'm so thug. You're the only one I'm dreaming of.
Yeah, it's racist, I think.
Is it racist? Does it?
He's
Why?
obviously using it in terms of like he's trying to utilize black stuff.
Oh,
Don't-
because he said gangster
Get
is
me
black.
off the-
Because he said gangster
Get
is
me
black.
off the video.
Because is it so gangster is
Ashton,
black? Gangster
I'm
is
about
black?
to say the N word.
Okay. Say it.
I'm not gonna say it, obviously.
Oh,
But
he's not gonna say it.
give me. It's like I feel like the cop. It's being
cop.
recorded.
Oh yeah.
Turn
Turn
the
that
phone
camera
off.
off. Turn
Turn
it
the phone
off. Turn it off.
Fucking shoot your dog.
Yeah.
Get it off the camera. Get out of here. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna shave now, I guess.